And okay, we're live. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Palantir Weekly. We're on number 13. Been doing this 13 weeks straight, so it's been very, very, very fun. Happy that everyone is here joining us on a Friday night. We've got Arnaldo all the way from Italy. We've got Dom from the States. I think Nashville. Dom?
30 minutes about south of Nashville. We'll call it Nashville.
Okay, Nashville. And we got Kris from Atlanta, and you got me, Amit from New Jersey. Lots to talk about this week. Main thing is going through these earnings because I know we've been through it this week. If anyone wants their question answered immediately, you can send a super chat and we will answer your questions.
Wait. Before we get started with Palantir, we got to address the elephant in the room.
What's the elephant?
Why do you not like Fight Club? I gotta know. Like, dude, Fight Club is one of the best movies of all time, in my opinion. I really love Fight Club.
You have a bad opinion. Your opinion is bad.
Nah, dude. What about you, Dom? Dom, Fight Club. What do you think?
I like it more than I don't like it. I mean, I won't say it's my top 5 movie, but I like it. It's a good movie.
That's my point. Everyone's acting like it's a top 5 movie. No one.
I would definitely not put it in my top 5, but it's a good movie.
Arnaldo,
Kris,
what about you?
Didn't do it either. So
not my top 5. I found it very interesting because it was something different from what I was expecting. So I watched it without knowing basically anything. So it surprised me. I can't say I liked everything of it, but that I had a nice feeling.
I find that movies.
What did you like? What didn't you like?
Because I love philosophical, introspective, existential movies. And Fight Club like tried to do it, and it didn't really have the impact that I wanted to do. So like when I mean tried to, I get the whole he worked a 9 to 5 and he's dealing with the absurdity of life. I get it. I understand it. I took philosophy in high school. I really understand the message. I don't think the movie executed it that well.
No, man. I mean,
like
dude,
a tough critic to please on movies.
Yeah, man.
All I hear is the explosions and guy gets girl.
What's a top 5 movies for you, Amit?
Inception, Dark Knight, Wolf of Wall Street, Interstellar. Those 4 are like.
You can tell he's thought about that question. He rattled it off like that.
So you prefer the Wolf of Wall Street?
What'd you say?
So you prefer the Wolf of Wall Street rather than Fight Club?
1000%. I mean, just entertainment.
I didn't really like it.
You didn't like Wolf of Wall Street?
Well, I liked certain parts of it, but after a certain point, I got bored.
It is long. They could have cut at least 25 minutes off of it.
The first part was very interesting, but then after seeing Leonardo sliding, I was okay. I already seen this.
Yeah, no, I'm also a Leo fanboy, so that definitely got me. Ryan says someone's a Christopher Nolan fanboy. That is also correct. The thing about the fight,
I like The Big Short over that one for sure.
Dude, I love The Big Short. That's one of my top favorite movies. Yeah,
that's in my top.
Short was good. Well, what I was about to say, that Fight Club thing, you know what happened so randomly? It's like right before we started the show, I was telling Tom, I was like, oh yeah, I was like trying to think of scenes for a potential video we're thinking of, and I looked at Fight Club for inspiration. By the way, I don't think Fight Club was that good. And as soon as I said that, they like changed the direction of how the show was going to start. They were like, no, we got to start with this. And then it became this meme, I guess. But I stick very, 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 very true to that statement. I don't think it's true. And I think all of us have to stick true to the statement that we made months ago when we told ourselves that buying Palantir at $24 was a hell of a deal. We're like, fuck, this is a bargain. Well, it turned out to be a bargain, all right. But for those on the other side of the marketplace, Palantir had their earnings. They dropped about 30% roundabout when they got to about 650, 670. Started the week at around 11. It's pretty rough. Earnings call I thought was actually very good. There's some really good positives that we want to talk about today, but stock price did not live up to that. Let me read the super chat real quick, then we'll get into it. Emmanuel, thank you for the super chat. Question for Arnaldo. I don't know what Dove la competition. I think he's asking, is there any competition? Shout out to Arny for waking up at 5. Oh, it's 5 a.m. right now for you, Arny?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you can answer that question. I don't know what it means.
He's referring to a clip I made with him and Christian, where we were talking about Cathie Wood selling Palantir because of competition in the government space. And my real answer was a question. Where's the competition? Where?
Data walk. Data walk. Everyone knows data walk is coming for all of y'all. So
yeah,
you just wait until data walk goes public.
All right. Well, let's get into it. Let's start off before we get into the deep nitty-gritty of the actual earnings. Let's talk about the sort of the raw reactions. Dom, let's start off with you. When the stock price fell, how did you feel about it Monday, Tuesday at its lowest?
So I thought we would hit right around 775, maybe 750, no lower than that. So I executed, maxed out my Roth and my wife's Roth at 750. So put 12 grand down. Now I'm back to building up my dry powder, but I was saving that. That was my tax money to, hey, get that every January, get taxed more up front. So I have that to guaranteed put towards it. And then I was sad when it went to 650. So I always have this problem with wanting to get at the lowest price. And I'm like, surely you can't go lower than this, and right. It's a lesson I learn all the time.
Arny, your initial thought from the stock price jump or don't go down.
I had a similar reaction. I was secretly hoping for that to happen because I was already expecting there were some headwinds, in particular in terms of margins and in terms of SPAC impact. So I was kind of hoping to see a bad reaction. I didn't expect that bad reaction. And my first thinking was, wow, minus 20%. So something really horrible must have happened. And probably most of the people, I include myself into it, saw the presentation, the earnings release, knowing that the price was dropping much. So I was, okay, what's wrong with that? But I didn't really find anything really alarming. There were some signs that required more explanation, but in my opinion, they were okay. There is just a data point into the direction they're heading to. And we know that businesses are not that linear, that you can expect every quarter to have exactly the same growth. So it is good to have some movements. And it's better to understand, okay, let's understand the full picture rather than saying, oh, they're lowering the guidance for about 3%, everything must be bad. So in the end, I was excited. I doubled down my position. Unfortunately, I did it at 7.5 as Dom. It was nice to see it going down from there, but overall, I'm happy.
Kris, your thoughts when you saw the price drop?
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of some of the stuff that I had bought really early, like before Palantir, and seeing it drop 70%. That's one of the reasons why I just DCA. When everything was going down, I was comfortable because I was like, oh, my average is going to go down this week, and that's what happened. Like Wednesday, when my my alert just goes off to buy, I was able to buy it cheaper. My average is still way higher than than what the price is right now. But this is one of the benefits of DCAing, right? Where you never try to time that bottom. It just becomes like almost a part of, hey, it's going to just be done and bought for you. And like I said, it's one of those things that now I'm looking at my average and it just keeps coming lower and lower and lower. Whereas I didn't make the mistake of just going in because I have like cash sitting on the side. And there are times where I'm just like, man, should I just go in, all in?
Well, to your point,
yeah.
750, had I been smart and just said, okay, max on each Roth is 6K. So if I think that 750 is the lowest, I'll do 3 and 3. And let's save the other 3 and 3 to see if it goes to 6 or 650. And I would have got in on that. But you just, there's that other side where you're like, I don't know if it'll ever get back to 750. I mean, this is insane prices. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Investing, especially depending on what your temperament is, if you're the type of person, like for me, I like to look at the market all the time. Like I'll just randomly look at it throughout the day. If you have that kind of mentality and it gives you that stress and that agita, you know, the best thing to do is create a strategy where you're able to kind of like feel that you can be in it for a prolonged period of time. Like right now, if I'm using a really large position and I see it go down really quickly, then yeah, then I'm gonna feel like crap about it. But because of my DCA principle, it gives me a lot of like pauses and a lot of rest and relaxation. So, and that's the thing. Anytime I've ever had losses in the past, majority of them because I've sold out early on a position because I couldn't stomach to see that loss. You know, whereas now, because of my DCAing, if it goes up, I celebrate because it's like, oh my God, my stock portfolio is up. If it goes down, I celebrate because, yeah, I got to buy it cheaper this week. You know, so I'm getting that what do you call it? That endorphin high every single time. So now when I do like invest and I look at a thesis and I say, okay, I think this company is going to do really well over the next 10 years, I'm not literally committed to that many shares. It's always like, okay, yeah, the company is growing and my share count is growing. Imagine all the people that could have been DCAing in Tesla in 2010. Instead of trying to time the bottom, they just kept buying shares. By the time that they got to a point where Tesla had that inflection point, dude, they were amazing. Now, on the other hand, imagine they had taken their entire life savings, put it into Tesla and not seen it grow at all. Like over almost 8 years when it was public, it didn't grow nearly, you know. So the entire time they would have been like, well, look at my position. I see it constantly going, you know, up and down, but it's not like, you know, really giving me that high that I need. And so they would have sold out of it too early. So I think, like I said, that's one of the virtues of DCAing, especially with a company like Palantir, where I think the growth prospects are going to take much longer than what a lot of people are thinking. They're not anywhere near their inflection point to the point where they're going to be valued at $1 trillion anytime soon. No. You know, even a $50 billion valuation is kind of excessive, to be honest with you, especially in a rising rate environment. So, you know, like I said, everyone has to figure out a strategy that they feel comfortable investing, because a lot of investing, half of it is doing good research. The other half is controlling yourself from making a mistake, right? And controlling your emotions, controlling your like bodily senses to like go fucking crazy, basically, you know?
No, you're right. It's that endorphin. Like, I was so excited at 750. I'm like, oh my gosh, I my cost basis was like 19 or something before this, and I'm like, to Mitt's point, we were all talking here months ago, like, this will never go below $10, you know. But there's so many things that are happening in today's market and world in general, compounding on each other, that I think Ryan said in the chat, give it 10 years from now and we'll all be laughing because we'll have all made a good decision by holding and getting in at these prices, which is true. You got to know what your temperament is and how long you're willing to hold.
Yeah, I agree. I think I did not buy this recent dip just because I bought a lot at 1080. For me, a lot was another $1,200 worth. My average is at 1966. I'm very skeptical of the rally we had today. Obviously, we went from like
I asked about that.
Yeah, 620 to, and we'll talk about it more in depth. We went from 620 to like, I think we closed at 830 or 825. I'm very skeptical. There's no reason why this should have happened today. So, I mean, I think we're going back lower. Sachin said in our group chat that we should be mentally prepared for $3, $4. And I think he's right about that. I mean, it definitely makes sense that it could definitely get there.